I was 34 when I discovered my husband's secret life. Not through some dramatic confrontation or tearful confession, but through a parking ticket. A single piece of paper that unraveled everything. It was a Wednesday afternoon in late September. The air had that crisp autumn feel, and I'd just gotten home from the grocery store. I'd grabbed his jacket to take to the dry cleaners and found it in the pocket. Downtown parking violation, dated last Friday. The address was unfamiliar. 1847 Riverside Avenue. "Marcus, where's 1847 Riverside Avenue?" I asked that evening while he scrolled through his phone at dinner. He barely looked up from his screen. "No idea." "Why?" I showed him the ticket. His face didn't change, but something flickered in his eyes. Just for a second. A micro-expression I almost missed. "Oh, right, met at a client there. Must have forgotten to feed the meter." "Which client?" "The Henderson account. Why, you know how demanding they are." I did know. He'd been working on the Henderson account for months. Long hours, weekend meetings, constant phone calls at odd times. I'd been supportive, understanding, the perfect corporate wife. After all, we needed the commission. His annual bonus depended on closing this deal. But something felt off. The way he answered too quickly. The way he went back to his phone immediately after, avoiding eye contact. I couldn't shake it. That night, after Marcus fell asleep, I checked the address on my phone. It was a residential building, luxury condos, floor-to-ceiling windows, doorman, valet parking. Not exactly a place you'd meet clients for business discussions. Thursday morning, I did something I'd never done before. I called his office, asked to speak to him about the Henderson meeting. "There's no Henderson meeting today," his assistant Jennifer said cheerfully. "Mr. Chen has the day off. He'll be back tomorrow." Day off. He'd left the house at 7 that morning in a charcoal suit, carrying his briefcase, kissing me goodbye like every other Thursday. I sat at our kitchen table for 20 minutes, staring at my coffee. 6 years of marriage. 6 years of trust. 6 years of believing we were building something real together. Then I grabbed my keys. I drove to Riverside Avenue, found the building. It was even more impressive in person. Glass and steel, modern architecture, the kind of place that screamed money. I parked across the street, feeling ridiculous. This wasn't me. I didn't spy on my husband. We'd been married 6 years, together for 8. We trusted each other. We were the couple our friends envied. But I stayed. 2 hours I sat there, watched people come and young professionals, older couples, a woman with a small dog, normal people living normal lives in this expensive building. Then I saw him, walking out of the building with a woman. Young, maybe mid-20s, petite with long dark hair, wearing yoga pants and an oversized sweater. Laughing at something he said. He touched her lower back as they walked to his car. Not a business touch, not a friendly touch. Something else entirely. Something intimate. My hands started shaking. I followed them. Stayed 3 cars back like in the movies. To a restaurant first, a trendy brunch place downtown. They sat outside on the patio. I parked where I could see them through the windows. Watched them share food off each other's plates. Watched him wipe something from her chin. Watched her lean across the table to kiss him. They went to a park next. Walked hand in hand along the path by the lake. Sat on a bench. She put her head on his shoulder. He played with her hair. They looked like any other couple. Happy, in love, completely comfortable with each other. Finally, back to that building on Riverside Avenue. She kissed him before they went inside. Not a quick goodbye kiss, a long, deep kiss. The kind I used to get from him years ago. I sat in my car, shaking. Not crying yet, just shaking. My whole body vibrating with something I couldn't name. Shock, betrayal, rage, heartbreak, all mixed together into this awful feeling in my chest. When he came home that night at his usual time, 6:30 p.m, I was waiting in the living room. Had been waiting for hours. "Hey, babe," he said, dropping his briefcase. "How was your day?" "Fine. How was work?" "Exhausting. The Henderson deal is killing me." "I think we're close, though. Maybe another few weeks." "Really? Because I called your office. They said you took the day off." He froze. Actually froze mid-step, halfway to the kitchen. His entire body went rigid. I worked from home today." "No, you didn't. I was here all day." The lies came faster then. He'd worked from a coffee shop. Too distracting at home. Then it was the library. then a shared workspace downtown, anywhere but where he actually was. I let him talk himself deeper into the hole, let him add lie after lie. Then I told him what I'd seen. His face went white. All the colour drained out. I can explain. Please do. I'd love to hear this explanation. It's not what you think. You were holding hands with another woman in the park. You kissed her. What should I think? He sat down heavily on the couch, ran his hands through his hair, a gesture I'd seen 1,000 times when he was stressed. Her name is Taylor. We met at a conference 6 months ago in Chicago. It just happened. Things don't just happen, Marcus. You make choices. You chose to get her number, chose to text her, chose to see her again, chose to rent an apartment with her. I know, you're right. I'm sorry. God, I'm so sorry. It's over. I'll end it tonight. How long? What? How long has this been going on? He hesitated. I could see him calculating what I might already know. 3 months. Don't lie to me, not anymore. You said you met her 6 months ago. We were just friends at first. Texting, video calls. It didn't get physical until later. When did you rent the apartment? His eyes widened. How did you know about... When, Marcus? 2 months ago. 2 months. He'd been living a double life for 2 months. Coming home to me every night, sleeping in our bed, making love to me, all while maintaining a secret apartment with another woman. Is she the only one? What? Yes, of course. How do I know that? How do I believe anything you say? Sarah, please, I love you. This was a mistake, a horrible mistake, but we can fix this. Get out, I said quietly. What? Get out of my house. Sarah, we need to talk about this. There's nothing to talk about. You lied to me for 6 months. You're living with another woman. You used our money to rent that apartment. Our money, Marcus. Money I helped earn while you were playing house with your girlfriend. It's not like that. What's it like then? Explain it to me. Make me understand how you justified this. He couldn't. Just sat there opening and closing his mouth like a fish. Pack a bag. Leave your key. Go stay with your parents or Taylor or whoever, I don't care, but you're not staying here. He left, packed a bag with shaking hands, walked out the door. I heard his car start, heard him drive away. Then I finally cried. I cried for hours, big, ugly, gasping sobs. Cried until my eyes were swollen and my throat hurt. Cried for the marriage I thought I had, for the future I'd imagined, for the man I thought I knew. The next week was a blur. I told my sister first. Emily drove over immediately, brought wine and ice cream, held me while I cried again. I'm going to kill him, she said. Slowly, painfully. Get in line. Friday morning, exactly 1 week after I'd confronted Marcus, I got a call from an unknown number. Is this Sarah Chen? Yes. My name is Rachel Morrison. I think we need to talk about Marcus and my former roommate, Taylor. My stomach dropped. Who are you? I'm Taylor's roommate. Was her roommate until 2 months ago. She moved out to live with some guy. I just found out yesterday that he's married. I found out he's married to you. We met for lunch at a small cafe downtown. Rachel was young, maybe 25, with bright red hair and multiple ear piercings. Angry and disgusted, but also genuinely sorry. I had no idea she was seeing a married man, she said before we even ordered. Taylor told me he was divorced, going through a rough custody battle with his ex. That's why she couldn't meet his family yet, why they had to keep things quiet. He told her he was divorced? That's what she told me. She showed me pictures of their apartment, talked constantly about their future together, marriage, kids, the whole thing. I believed her. She's my best friend. Was my best friend. How did you find out the truth? I saw his Facebook profile, searched his name out of curiosity, relationship status, married. Pictures of you two everywhere. Wedding photos, vacation photos, anniversary posts. I confronted Taylor yesterday. She broke down, admitted everything, said she knew but that he was going to leave you, that you didn't understand him, didn't appreciate him, that the marriage was basically over anyway. I laughed. Bitter. Harsh. He's been home every night, sleeping in our bed. We had sex 3 days before I found out. How exactly was our marriage over? Rachel pulled out her phone. She's been documenting everything. Instagram posts, TikToks, even a blog, all about her new relationship, her new life. I saved screenshots before I told her I knew what she'd done. She showed me. Dozens of posts, pictures of flowers Marcus had sent, screenshots of romantic texts, photos of restaurants they'd visited, even photos of them together, his face carefully cropped out or blurred. Captions about finding true love, about finally being happy, about knowing when you've met your soulmate. Can you send these to me? Already did. To the email you gave me. There's more too. Text messages going back months. He's been telling her he loves her, that you two are basically roommates, that he's waiting for the right time to tell you it's over. Waiting for the right time. While lying to both of us, while building a life with her and maintaining one with me. I'm so sorry, Rachel said. If I'd known, I would have told you immediately. I would never have helped her move, would never have been supportive. I feel like an idiot. You're not the idiot here, they are. What are you going to do? I don't know yet. But I did know. I called a lawyer that afternoon. Attorney Lisa Chen, no relation, was in her 50s, with sharp eyes and a sharper suit. She listened to my story without interruption, took notes, nodded in all the right places. You have a strong case, she said when I finished. Adultery, misuse of marital funds, deception. How long have you been married? 6 years. Any children? No. That simplifies things. Do you own property together? A house, in both our names. I inherited money from my grandmother for the down payment, but we've both paid the mortgage. We'll argue for you to keep the house based on your initial investment. What about savings, retirement accounts? Joint savings account. About $80,000. We each have our own retirement accounts from our jobs. She made more notes. I'll need access to all financial records, bank statements, credit card bills, anything showing his spending patterns, the apartment lease especially. If you can prove he used marital funds for his affair, that strengthens your position considerably. I gave her everything. Every document, every screenshot Rachel had sent, the parking ticket that started it all. She reviewed it all with a satisfied expression. This is very thorough. Your husband made a lot of mistakes. Mistakes that will cost him. Marcus tried coming home that weekend. I changed the locks Friday afternoon. Spent $300 I didn't really have, but worth every penny. He called repeatedly. I didn't answer. He texted dozens of messages, ranging from apologetic to angry to pleading. I didn't respond. Finally, Saturday afternoon, he showed up, pounded on the door. Sarah, please, we need to talk. You can't just lock me out of my own house. I opened the door with the chain still on, handed an envelope through the gap. What's this? Divorce papers, you've been served. His face went pale, actually lost all colour. You can't be serious. Read them. My lawyer will be in touch. Don't contact me again except through your attorney. Sarah, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I'll do anything to fix this. Therapy, counselling, whatever you want. You've done enough. Goodbye, Marcus. I closed the door, locked it, slid the chain back into place. He stood there for a while. I could see him through the peephole, just standing there holding the envelope, looking lost. Part of me wanted to open the door, to listen, to try to fix things, but a bigger part of me knew the truth. This wasn't fixable. He hadn't made one mistake. He'd made hundreds of choices every single day for 6 months to betray me. Finally, he left. The legal process moved surprisingly quickly. Lisa was efficient, ruthless even. We had evidence. The apartment lease in his name, signed 2 months before he moved out. Credit card statements showing expensive gifts, jewellery, perfume, designer bags, none of which I'd ever received. Restaurant charges at places we'd never been together. Hotel rooms on nights he claimed to be working late. Marcus's lawyer, a nervous young man named Davidson, tried to argue it was just a brief affair, a moment of weakness. My lawyer showed the timeline. 6 months of communication, 3 months of physical relationship, 2 months of maintaining a separate residence. Thousands spent on his girlfriend while claiming we needed to budget at home, while saying we couldn't afford to renovate the bathroom or take a vacation. Davidson tried another approach. My client is willing to offer a fair 50-50 split of all assets, an equitable division given the length of the marriage. Fair would be 70-30 given his extensive misuse of marital funds, Lisa countered. He spent approximately $15,000 of joint money on his affair, money that belonged to both parties. That's theft. We negotiated for weeks, back and forth, offers and counteroffers. I let Lisa handle it. I couldn't look at Marcus, couldn't be in the same room without wanting to scream. We ended up at 65-35 in my favour. I got the house, all of it, most of our savings. His retirement account split heavily toward me, 60-40. He got his car, his personal belongings, and the debt from the apartment he'd been renting. No alimony for either of us, which was fine. I made good money as a marketing director. Didn't need his support, didn't want anything from him except to never see him again. The day our divorce was finalised, 3 months after I'd found that parking ticket, I felt lighter. Like I'd been carrying something heavy for so long I'd forgotten what it felt like to stand up straight. Rachel and I stayed in touch. She'd completely cut Taylor off, blocked her number, unfriended her everywhere, refused to speak to her. She keeps trying to reach out, Rachel told me over coffee one afternoon. Wants to explain, to apologise, to make me understand. I don't want to understand. I don't want her explanations. Good for you. Taylor and Marcus lasted another month after you filed for divorce before it imploded spectacularly. Really? She expected him to propose once he was free. Got angry when he didn't. Started posting passive-aggressive things online about men who make promises they don't keep. He saw them, confronted her, accused her of pressuring him. She accused him of leading her on. They fought constantly about money. Money? The apartment was too expensive. They couldn't afford their lifestyle without your income. He expected her to pay half of everything, but she makes way less than either of you. They went from fancy restaurants to arguing over who should pay for groceries. I tried not to feel satisfied. Failed completely. Karma. Absolutely. The fantasy fell apart when it became reality. I heard through mutual friends that Marcus moved back with his parents in their basement, that Taylor moved to another city for a fresh start, that neither of them was happy, that the relationship they'd destroyed my marriage for had lasted less time than a season. I didn't feel satisfaction exactly, just relief that it was over, that I was free. A year later, I sold the house. Too many memories. Every room reminded me of something. The kitchen where he'd lied about his day. The bedroom where we'd slept together while he lived a double life. The living room where I'd confronted him. I bought a smaller place across town. Modern condo, floor-to-ceiling windows, open floor plan. Complete opposite of our old house. Started completely fresh. I joined a gym, took up painting, reconnected with old friends I'd neglected during my marriage. Started saying yes to invitations I would have declined before. Focused on myself for the first time in years. Did I date? Eventually. Nothing serious at first. Just dinners with nice men, movies, conversations over coffee. Learning to trust again took time. Learning to believe someone when they said they'd be somewhere, that they were doing what they claimed, that they meant what they said. Marcus tried reaching out once, about 8 months after the divorce was final. An email to my work address about closure, about apologising properly, about explaining things better. I deleted it without reading past the first line. Didn't need his apology, didn't need his explanation. Didn't need closure from him. I'd already closed that chapter myself. Looking back now, 2 years later, that parking ticket was the best worst thing that could have happened. If I hadn't found it, how much longer would the lies have continued? Months? Years? Would I have wasted my entire 30s in a marriage that was a complete fiction? Instead, I found out early enough to rebuild. Young enough to start over, strong enough to walk away. The betrayal hurt, still does sometimes, in quiet moments when I'm alone. But it also taught me something important about my own strength, my own worth. I survived, more than survived. I thrived. My life now is mine. No lies, no deception, no wondering where my partner really is or what they're really doing. No checking phones or questioning stories. Just honest, simple peace. And that's worth more than any marriage built on secrets. Marcus made his choice when he met Taylor at that conference, when he exchanged numbers, when he rented that apartment, when he lied to both of us about who he was and what he wanted. I made my choice when I found that parking ticket, when I followed him instead of trusting him, when I filed those papers instead of trying to fix things. We both got what we chose. He got his freedom and the consequences that came with it. Lost his wife, his home, his savings, his reputation. Last I heard, he's still single, still living with his parents, still trying to figure out what went wrong. I got mine too. Freedom, peace, a life I built entirely on my own terms, and discovered it was exactly what I needed all along. Sometimes I wonder what he tells people. Does he admit what he did? Does he play the victim, claim I overreacted? Does he regret it? I don't know, don't really care anymore. All I know is that I'm happy, genuinely, authentically happy. Something I wasn't for a long time in my marriage, though I didn't realise it until after. That parking ticket changed everything. One small piece of paper, one moment of carelessness on his part, and my entire life shifted. I'm grateful for it now. Grateful for the truth, however painful. Grateful for the chance to start over. Grateful for the woman I became when I stopped being his wife and started being myself again.